Hey, I'm back, Tristan here with another video. I would like to, of course, cover what are the do's and don'ts in Airsoft. Well, now I cannot really cover everything, but the best thing I can approach this is to actually cover the things that you are allowed to do and not to do in the game site where I play in. Okay. So again, I normally you can normally see me at Hosla Gamesite. It's formerly known as the office because it used to be a government office, as they say. And I've been playing Airsoft for roughly 8, 9 years now. Um, I started with with the small AEGs, the MP5s, and then it evolved to the high-end AEGs, and then of course the gas blowback has always been there, and then of course the Polar Star engines, the HPAs are nowadays are in. So yeah, of course, but we will cover that in another video. The guns and the gears. I'll be more than happy to do that for you guys. But for today, I would like to cover the do's and don'ts when playing Airsoft. So number one, when playing Airsoft, particularly in in the game side where I play, you leave your ego out the door. It's a gentleman's game, and ladies, let's be be perfectly equal there. Um, Basically, we all came to to play Airsoft. We want to have fun, and we just want to make sure that that's really that the goal to have fun is really achieved. So leave your ego out the door. It doesn't matter if you're a politician or you're a member of the armed forces, or like me. I'm a I'm an associate pastor at the same time. I'm a BPO leader. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm an associate pastor. Um, so yeah, basically we all come there to have fun and build friendship. So let's make sure that you leave your ego out the door. Your ego is not welcome, but you are perfectly welcome to play the game. Now, of course, upon entering, you will be meeting some caretakers there. You will be asked to pay a game fee of $200 per person. So that is actually a very good price for you to play the whole day. And then, of course, moving on to rule number three. Yeah, make sure when you're playing Airsoft, you use full face and of course eye protection and ear protection. It's a Hosla Gamesite is a CQB environment, so if you have a helmet setup, that would be great. That would be awesome. If you have a vest or a chest rig, it's all up to you. Or if you wanna run around with just wearing a jacket like the tactical jacket that I'm wearing right now, it's perfectly fine. You get lit up. It's all up to you if you think you can take it. Yeah. But of course, you again going back to the full face mask, you will not be allowed to play the game if you don't have one. Now, if that's the only thing that you forget, because sometimes things do happen like that, we have rentals there. But depending on the price, you're just gonna have to ask the host team for per gear. Because normally, to the best of my knowledge, for $500 it's all set. But per gear, for example, if you want to rent a vest or just a face mask, you're gonna have to ask any members of Team Talong. You can approach Jet, Joy, Francis, Mike, Russell, or McCoy, and of course Doc Ronald on that. Now, of course, moving on the game site, we have a designated staging area. You are not allowed to discharge your firearm there. We do have a firing range, which of course moves over to the next rule. We do have a firing range there. We could just calibrate your optics and your guns, adjust your hop up or whatever. You can test your guns if it fires. We do have gunsmiths on the Team Talong desk. They'll be more than happy to help you out. Of course, these are basic repairs. Of course, for major repairs, I don't know. It may come with a fee or not. With my experience, I recently had a new airsoft gun. It's a Salient's arm, and it went over the FPS limit, which I will cover on the next item. Joy was able to do a gun hack, so he was able to fix it, and I was able to use my new gun to play in a CQB environment. Now, moving on the next rule, our FPS limit is just 400 to 420 FPS, or what we call flight per second, at 0.20 BBs. So it's a CQB environment, guys. Come on, you have to understand that it's a close quarter Anything that's beyond that is too painful anymore. And then of course it's semi-auto only. If your semi-auto is not working, you're gonna have to sit that one out, or you're gonna have to get your gun repair, because you will not be allowed to join. Now, of course, we do chrono all people that plays. Now, for those of you who think you can get away with it, we have marshals, roving around with mobile chrono. You get chrono on the spot, and you don't want to be put on the spot where you get yourself humiliated for not obeying on the rules. Now, of course, when it comes to rules, when playing airsoft, it's a gentleman's game. Don't ruin for everyone. Call your hits. Yeah, because everybody's willing to play fair with you. Just don't give them any reason not to. All right. Okay, on the next item, only the game masters or the marshals have the right or the authority to declare a game start or a game over. If you feel that everybody's dead, you just wait for the marshals to declare game over. If you're waiting for the game to start when people normally, shout mask down, it means you put down your mask. It doesn't necessarily mean you're wearing your mask and you put it down. No, it's the other way around. Mask down, it means the game is about to start, and when you hear the whistle, basically it's game on. Now, of course, another thing that I would like to cover: there are no fire zones on our game site. Starting from the second floor, people do actually live there, the caretakers. And of course, when you're at the gun range, you are highly discouraged to discharge your firearm upward on the sky. The Hosla Gamesite is situated in the middle of a community, and we don't want to hit someone outside the game site. And then, of course, if you have, moving on to the next item, if you have a conflict with another player, for example, you shot someone again and again and again, and this person doesn't call these hits, well, you can report to the nearest marshal, or you can formally air your side to the complaint desk downstairs at the staging area, where Team Talong members or marshals, or whatever you call them, are on duty. They'll be more than happy to accommodate your complaint and straighten things out with another team member. Never confront anyone. There was a time that somebody blind fired at me, and to be honest, I'm just human. As nice as I am, I get pissed at times, and I really got flared out. This person did just not fired at me blindly once, but twice. And this person was obviously new to our game site, and he didn't know how the rules work. So here's another rule: when you got shot and you call your hits, you sit down, you shut your mouth, and just observe. You don't talk to anyone still playing the game, telling everyone where they hide, or how many people are still alive. You don't get to do that. Don't ruin the game of realism for anyone and everyone playing the game. Okay, be fair. Now, another thing that I would like to mention is no blind firing. So blind firing basically is when you point your gun and you're not necessarily, your face or any part of your body is not necessarily visible to your sight. Now that's called cheating. Now, of course, in a real world scenario, it can happen. It does happen. But the thing is, this is an airsoft game. You don't want to hit someone you're not supposed to hit. Number one, your team players, other gamers. Number two, the marshals or the game masters that roams around. So basically, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You can get caught doing that, and of course, I would like to make sure that everybody's reminded of that. I think we were able to cover a lot of things. Of course, when you come to the game site, make sure that you bring your full face eye protection, and of course, do not brand your airsoft in public. Make sure that you carry in a gun bag or a gun case away from public view. You don't want to be the reason why airsoft is banned everywhere. Okay, and of course for the students you don't bring into school. So again, I would like to remind everyone to keep it safe and simple, and at the same time, if you have any questions, please do hit me in the comments below. I will do my best to answer those questions for you, and if I am not able to answer, please be patient with me. This is not something I do for a living. I do have a real job, and yeah, I do have a life outside airsoft. So I'm just doing this as a labor of love for the community. At the same time, it's a humble work dedicated for the team that adopted me for the longest time now. Team Talong has been very, very kind to me, and of course, I would just like to pay back their hard work and accommodating players like myself, lone wolves. Yeah, I don't belong to any team. Now, of course, before I end this video, I would like to, of course, thank the community for keeping this thing alive, and at the same time, I would like to again thank Team Talong for hosting our game site. And then of course I would like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Jojo, King of Things Tactical. If you are in need of any tactical gear, you might want to visit him at the game site every Saturday. He has a small store there, a small unit. You might be able to find something that you need at a fair price. So again, I would like to say goodbye to everyone, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao!